Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 14 Week 3 Bear Cave games, back again with another week of content. And what a week it's already been. We've already had quite a few upsets. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see the screen before we go ahead and get started. If you don't know what the SFA is, it's an online dynasty ran through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You can join, you can claim a team, you can hire coordinators, you can set your depth chart, set your schemes, you can also participate in our fully functional sportsbook, our fully functional stock market as well, and compete for recruiting rewards. It's a really fun time, great community. Check descriptions for links to the Discord or in the Twitch chat. And yeah, baby, it's a great week. Buffalo lost, baby. Put a Buffalo with a capital L in chat, baby. Woo! Alright, so just going to give it a second here. And before we go ahead and get started, obviously always just a few housewarming things. If you do watch live, you may run into ads because we are affiliated. Feel free to, follow our Twitch, drop a Twitch Prime if you don't want to miss any of the action. And any and all revenue made through the Twitch channel does go back to you guys in terms of a national championship trophy and care package. And within that care package is merch from your favorite school, which is courtesy of our friends over at Home Field Apparel. By far the best apparel company out there for your college football. They focus on vintage designs, and it's not just football. They have over 180 collections. They're adding 19 more schools this year. Feel free to check them out. Use code SFA for 15% off your first purchase. That code works once per email. And then also you can use the link either in Twitch chat or in the server. And you can support us anyways if you are a returning customer. And they dropped two very cool collections today. More Arkansas and more Kentucky. So if you're interested, if you're an SEC Dick Rider, you like those schools, check them out. And then also follow our Instagram. We have like over 250, over 290 subscribers on YouTube and Twitch, but we only have 40 Instagram followers. So go to Simulated Football Association on Instagram if you want daily media content, just little stories or game day graphics or whatever. It's kind of fun to scroll through, see SFA stuff. And yeah, I think that's everything before we go ahead and get started. If you weren't able to watch Week 2, all VODs do make it to YouTube, so you can always check them out. I also do post highlight videos for the Bear Cave and the Game Day games as well. Those go up the next day. All right, lots of people talk about their coins. And anyone already hit a parlay? Yes, the special is still going alive after the Missouri beat Miami. Navy's 3-0, yep. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If this is your first time on Bear Cave, well, welcome. It is a great time. We select the 10 best games of the week, and then we actually, instead of just quick simming them like all these other games, we watch them sim live, and then if it's close to the fourth quarter, we're going to jump in and actually watch the action unfold with the gameplay. So we're going to start with BYU at Army. So this is Coach Ron taking on Coach MZ, and by this point we actually have over 100 active, probably 70 active users, and then we have over 100 teams claimed right now. And so a lot of for some of the hold heads remember the days where I tried to just get all user versus user games for sure on Bear Cave, but now almost every week is user versus user. So we're going to go Ron versus MZ. If Ron is here, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive. And before we go ahead and jump in, this is a 6.5 point spread for the home team, the Army Black Knights. And then let's see if I can find this over under. Yes, it is. It's 49.5. And then the Bear Cave player prop for this game is focusing on BYU quarterback Vidro Bautista's pass touchdowns. Will he have over or under 2.5? All right, let's get it going. We got BYU. I do not see Coach Ron in the chat. Oh, I didn't know Disco got a touchdown. That's awesome. Yeah, Navy's having a good start. Now, remember, though, not great opponents, right? I don't know. Do you have a P5 victory? I don't think so. So, it's always a wait and see. All right, we got BYU taking on Army. This is an Army team that almost came back to beat top 10 ranked Georgia Tech a couple of weeks ago. So they're going to try to beat BYU, who is a pass-heavy offense. This is one of my favorite offenses in the SFA right now. And they are young, so they're going to go get better and better. But you have Pedro Bautista. If you don't know him, he is a season 12 recruiting class guy. And he had max throw power, but extremely low accuracy. So he has 99 throw power, but he has like 50 accuracy. And then he just got 2 deep threats in Deontay Lightfoot and the other guy, blanking on his name right now. It's the cool one too, man. Why am I blanking on names? That's all right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead here. Here we go, folks. Next quarter, and quick touchdown for Army. Are they going to blow them out of the water? 14-0. Nothing doing early on. And remember, Army is without Scooter Burdett, their outside linebacker. He is the leader of this defense. He's out for the year with a broken wrist. So as you head to halftime, it's only a touchdown lead for Army. They are currently covering. And remember, we just quick sim to the fourth quarter. See if it's close. BYU coming back. They had a field goal, and they can't do anything. The Army offense just completely shut down, and it's Deontay Thrust is the wide receiver. So next possession here, we are in the fourth quarter. Intercepted. Army quarterback gets intercepted. BYU takes the lead, and uh-oh for Army, man, blowing a 14-point lead, but they battle back. They do get the touchdown, so they lead by 4 heading into the 2-minute drill. Remember, we jump in at that 2-minute mark. Here we go. BYU, you got Pedro Bautista. You got Thrust at number 1 at the bottom of your screen, and then Lightfoot at the top. Pedro, he's floating that one out, and he finds, I believe that's Reese Brewster, the slot guy it is. He's very small. He's a Canadian. Here we go. Can BYU, they already made a comeback once. Can they do it again? All 3 wide receivers are SFA players. And I don't know why you're doing shovel option against an option team. I'm not dropping any frames or anything, so I think that's you guys. Just reload your stream, Mills. 2nd and 14. Floating that one, and he hits his man. That's Deontay Lightfoot, 20 yards. Yeah, I've not dropped 1 frame. Misinformation from Mills over there. 1st and 10, we're across the 40. Pedro Bautista, he's cooking. He's 6'6", he has insane throw power. He floats a duck, though, and there is Thrust, DeKalen Thrust there. He gets 11, so every SFA wide receiver has touched the ball on this drive. 2 freshmen and a sophomore, led by their sophomore quarterback. And remember, they have Ricky So in the backfield, the transfer from Arizona State. The guy Florida State Coach Jackie Moon chonded on in the transfer portal. Pedro, he delivers a dart, and that is overthrown. 2nd and 10. We got about 1 minute and 18 seconds left here. Pedro only has 1 touchdown throw, so it looks like the under is going to hit for the BearCave prop. 2nd and 10. They're going to fake the delay give, float it down the middle, 1-on-1, and it's tipped away. Robert Jackson with the deflection. Remember, BYU does have Jeff Pimpton, the transfer from Iowa State, followed Coach Ron over here. I don't know if that was him for sure. I don't think so. So 3rd and 10 now. To the end zone, and he overthrows the wide open man to Deontay Lightfoot. He couldn't find him. So now decision time here for BYU. And they're going to go for it. They still have the 3 timeouts, but they go 5 wide, completely empty for Pedro. He has time over the middle. That's way short, and he gets speared. Turnover on downs for BYU. All right, so now the defense comes out on the field. 1 first down will win it here for Army. Handoff, and it was the sponsored one. It's Nebraska money line and Texas A&M money line, I believe. All right, 2nd and 7. running some triple option. They stopped the first one. They give the second one to the fullback. An amazing play there by the middle linebacker. Chad Smith couldn't go anywhere. Remember, they have Tokomaha Pakarori's brother, Korieka Pakarori, on the outside linebacker position. I don't know if that was him or not. They are going to throw it here with Silva, and he yams that to the middle. What are you doing? So BYU is going to retain a timeout now, as Army has to punt. All right. So BYU, all they have to do is get within range of a Fedro Bautista yam. He can yam it as far as the game allows, about 70 yards. So they're already in range for a yam. We get a return here. That's Reese Brewster. Almost 80 plays ran for the BYU offense today. All right, 1st and 10, 49 seconds left. They do have that one timeout. Plenty of time. BYU trying to go to 2-1 on the season. He's yamming that one, and he overthrows him again. That's about 3 straight overthrows from Fedro. And remember, folks, when you're recruiting lower-ranked players, like a 2-star quarterback like Fedro, sure, he had the elite throw power, but that's at the sacrifice of accuracy and awareness, right? Because the ratings have to match. So Fedro Bautista, he has the arm. Look at that. He hits his man. Touchdown, Deontay Lightfoot. The freshman gives him the lead. You take the good with the bad, and oh, is the good so sweet. Touchdown, BYU. Fedro Bautista, baby. This is Joe Milton's love child, if he was just a pocket passer. All right, so now the true underdog has a 3-point lead here. I'm not even mad that I'm about to lose 1,500 coins on that, as Reddy Rogers comes out to the field. They have 3 timeouts, 35 seconds. All they need is a field goal. Are we going to see some magic from the Black Knights? Keep almost calling them the midshipmen. I think that's like a big no-no. And they get that off, and he goes down again. This defense has been incredible in the few plays we've seen them. Jeremy Silva, he's forced to throw. Now remember, this is an offense that was forced to throw in the 4th quarter against Georgia Tech, and they did very well. They almost came back. 2nd and 15. Silva off his back foot. He does hit Sanderson, the SFA player, but that only gets 11. They have to use another timeout. You've got to get bigger chunks than that, folks. Third and 5, split back set. Silva over the middle. He has his man. Broken tackle, and that's Eric Montoya. That's the Oklahoma transfer. The transfer from the national championship winning team. He was redshirted last year. He gives them a big gain. So here comes Silva again. He's going to escape, and he goes down. Sacked. He goes, and now time is ticking. Last play of the game. 11 seconds, so they can either play for the field goal, get a big chunk of yardage, but you got to get out of bounds, or you got to just yam it deep a few times. Silva, he does get it off, but that's going to be short. And can they get it first? No, they don't. Chad Smith goes down. The clock is running, no timeouts, and that is going to end the game. BYU gets it done. The under hits, and the true underdog wins. What a performance and what a comeback for Coach Ron. Yeah, Army sold that game for sure. So Army drops to now 1-2, a team that a lot of people had as a threat to the G5 auto bid. But BYU gets it done. And watch out for BYU, folks. Once Pedro Bautista, if he can progress a little bit, he has deep threat DeKalen Thrust, deep threat Deontay Lightfoot, who cooked Kenzo Carter, the SFA player. This team, when they decide to go deep, are lethal. And then Eric Montoya almost got him back. Rick has not made the CFP. He's made multiple Citrus Bowls, though. All right, so we'll go through, check the stats here. Scoring summary, TJ Sanderson getting it done. And a long, or that's a, never mind. Kalen Thrust getting himself a touchdown. So Fedro, 19 of 34. He's never going to complete a lot of passes, but when he does, they're going to be great. So the under hits for the BearCave prop. So we didn't even see our boy Ricky So. Wonder if he left the game after this catch. That's probably what happened here. So after one play, it looks like Ricky So left the game. And then Sam Patterson, man, he's cooking. 3 sacks here. Interception from Sean Howard. A deflection from Daniel Dortch. All right, and for Army, 289, 2 touchdowns. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I think that they run like a hybrid. Like they run an option playbook, but they're on max passing. All right, tackles for loss. Kermit Scroat only got 1. Yeah, we didn't see any impact there from Scroat. Deflections, couple here. A lot of them just drop passes. Jemai Slauson, the SFA player. 3 forced fumbles and 3 fumble recoveries. That's why they were so good at the start, but unable to capitalize on those turnovers. Interesting. All right. So as always, I got to get my players of the game. So pause for a second while I get my snip. So BYU wins outright, and the under hits for that total. And that was a relatively low total for a BearCave game as well. All right, so we're moving on here. If that's any sign of what's to come, and when you know it's going to be a good BearCave day when you have these early games pop off. So we're immediately going to go to another great one, as we are going to check out the team that shocked the world in week 1. Louisiana took down Coach Nick, held him to 3 points. And then Coach Leaf, if you're here, let me know, kick or receive since you are at home. You don't get to pick the toss. This is a 2.5-point favorite for the road team, which is Louisiana. And the over-under for this game is 66.5. 2 high-scoring offenses, high-powered offenses. And the BearCave prop today was Rafa Hooker over-under 74.5 receiving yards. So we'll check on that. All right, let's go. So debut on BearCave for Coach Leaf. Remember, they got Fountain, the transfer from Georgia Tech a couple years ago. Lots of SFA players still on this roster. Fear the Fork. Oh, yeah. I gotta remember, I gotta skip some of these. So you said and kick. All right, he wants to kick. Oh, you didn't win the toss. All right, so just how good is Louisiana? This is a team that has a 96 overall quarterback, 99 overall wide receiver. So we'll see what they can do. I mean, we know how good elite receivers are in the G5. You know, just look at Chet Doge. 10-7 here after the first quarter. Here we go. Everybody wants to fear the fork. 21-10 here for Arizona State. Man, and what does this make Tennessee look like? A bunch of chumps. Oh my, Louisiana getting ran out the door here. Are all the underdogs gonna start out with wins? They're up 2 scores here. Louisiana, they mess it up inside the 5. Pass was dropped by the 99 overall Melvin Young. Unbelievable. So we're gonna change the possession, and they're gonna get a punt. I am gonna go one play at a time. It is with almost to where we jump in. We're at 11 now. Still 2 scores. We're not jumping in yet, but we're going to slow sim, check it out, see if Arizona State can clutch up. And it looks like they're doing it. They're running out the clock, and they score a touchdown. That's Heron. He is going to put this one away, and a win for Arizona State. Get them on the board after a rough loss to an FAU team week 1. So they take down Louisiana. Now all of a sudden the G5 auto bid goes crazy as we get Rafa Hooker return kickoff to start the game. How about that, baby? And another one. Oh, Rafa Hooker. Oh my God, Rafa Hooker. He gets a kickoff and a punt in the same game? I know he was an elite deep threat, but man, oh man. Rick, why couldn't you do this with him, man? And then we get Odom with an 80-yarder. Oh, my God. And that hits half a point on the under, by the way. 66.5 was the over, and we're at 66 total. And Arizona State does win outright. So we'll check. Ben Fountain, he only gets 123 passing yards. Rushing the ball, it was all Will Heron today. And that means Rafa Hooker only gets 30 yards, but he probably had in total like almost 200 yards. So that's a rough way to lose a BearCave prop. On defense, Donnie Thurman, the SFA player, gets 2. And then sacks-wise, Evan and Ortiz. And we get no interceptions here. Deflections, a lot of them. No fumbles. And then let's check to see how these guys did over at Louisiana. Brooks White, the senior, he had to throw it 43 times, 434 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's a great day for him, rushing the ball. They really couldn't rush it all that well, or they just decided not to, I guess. And, Blake Odom, 234 and 2 scores. Whew. Okay, and then the 99 overall only gets 44 yards in a tutty. And on defense, this is probably where the problems were. And honestly, giving up, 2 special teams touchdowns, you aren't going to win a lot of games doing that, right? Eric Ramsey. Remember, this is a defense that is a shell of its former self. They used to have guys like Bobby Chalk, Ndamukong Suh, Darren Williams, but now it's all sim players. So that's going to do it here from Tempe. A surprising result, if I'm being frank. Poor Nick. He doesn't have a quality loss anymore. Womp womp. He's just going to have to wait for SEC play for those. All right. So ASU gets on the board. Congratulations, Coach Leaf. That was a big one. Hold on, give me a second. I'm getting spammed by Miss TC. I gotta respond, otherwise I will die and never be able to stream again. All right, let's get it rolling here. All right, so we're on to the third game here. Gotta get back to my BearCave graphic. And we're going to Auburn and Nebraska. Part of that special bet that 11 of you guys tailed for, I don't know if it's 500 or 1,000 coins, but this is a big one. Now, we need a Nebraska win, oddly enough. And I think they are the favorite here. But undefeated Auburn, if you're here, Cabbage, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive. It is 1,000 coins. All right. So while I wait for Cabbage, this is a 3-point spread for the home team, Nebraska. And the over-under is 53.5. And the BearCave line to watch out for is, will Dictator get a sack? 1+ sacks is what we're looking for. So tails and kick from Cabbage. Good luck. If Cabbage win this, I expect some top 25 votes, as this would be the best start for Auburn for football since the Hale Cardale back in season 9, where they made it all the way up to number 5 in the poll after starting out 5-0. So will Auburn beat this Nebraska team that's 2 years away from a national championship appearance? Last year had a down year, but they feel like they are back. This new offense is gelling. They're having fun. You only missed one game, Jay Jettas. It was Arizona State taking down Louisiana, as we get tails and kick for Cabbage here. All right, here we go. 2 undefeated teams. We are in Lincoln. How will this one go? Nebraska starts us out with a field goal. Auburn, can they get Price going? I think he is the key to the game. And then, obviously, for Nebraska, can they get this high-powered pass offense going? And they're up 17-0 here in the first. Oh, man, this is looking great for the parlay, but they get a big field goal there to end the quarter. We head to the third. Auburn's battling back within a score. Nebraska re-extends it. Here comes Auburn. They had a field goal. Nebraska scores a touchdown again. This game is going crazy. And there goes Auburn. But, man, they got to get a stop on defense. Calais Ingram, can they do something? We're going to go one at a time. It's an 11-point game here. And Arian Green Davis, there's Swan. They get a penalty. And that's going to give the ball back to Auburn. Now, Dickerstick gets a catch. Here they go. Remember, we don't jump in until it's one score. There it is. Brandon Price gets the score. They don't get the 2. Here we go, folks. Watch the play. Onside kick. 2 minutes left. And it's bobbled. And Auburn gets the ball. Unbelievable. They get it. They bobbled it on the return team. I don't know if they really thought he was going to kick it deep. Oh, Nelly. Here we go. We got a game brewing. The comeback of a lifetime here for Auburn, as the over has already hit. Nebraska currently covering by 2 points. We saw this team on Watch Party in week 1. They outscored Charlotte 51-7. This is a team that really likes those option plays. They love the screen game, and then they will take you deep here or there. Chase Boggs, top of your screen, is an SFA player, transfer from Texas. They also have Quentin Appleby, but they're dumping that one off. And there is, I believe that is Brandon Price, the transfer from Oklahoma. Lots of transfers from Oklahoma popping off today. He is very good in the pass game. He gets a big one there. Here comes Auburn. They're feeling hot. Dickerstick in the slot. And they're going to take off, and down he goes. I think they're going to give, are they going to give that to Dictator? No, they give it to Mark Jones. Dictator was in there. He's number 96 there in the middle. So 2nd and 11 now. Dumping this one off. And a stiffy, a block. There they go down the sideline. Big play for Freddie Davis. Chicken and cheese ziti. Well, thank you, Quick Cap'n. All right, here we go. Alfonso, he breaks a tackle and he gets hit. Sacked again. They're hanging on to those timeouts, and I don't know, was that another Dictator? Now we're going to get a timeout from Cabbage here at the minute 5 mark. They are in scoring range, 25 yards away from taking the lead. They are out empty, but this offensive line is struggling. This Nebraska front, they're going to run a mid-screen. Oh, another nice move by Freddie. There he goes. Freddie Davis continues to bob and weave right through this defense. Is Alfonso Jackson up around 400 yards? Can Auburn take the lead and dash the hopes of everybody? Handoff, Price up the gut. He finds some room. Oh, he almost broke that. Pat Harrell on the tackle. This would be a fantastic road win from Auburn, especially with a comeback. 2nd and 3. Man in motion. He's going to run it. He evades. Can he cut a field? He gets hit. Down he goes. Jackson couldn't find the room. 52 seconds left, and Nebraska's used all of their timeouts now. So 3rd and 2. Can they finally get the score? He keeps it, and he cuts upfield, and he gets brought down in the backfield. 4th down. Skip Stackle, the transfer from Illinois. So 4th and 2. 30 seconds left. Sampson. He takes off. He finds room. Touchdown, Auburn. They complete the comeback. And they're going to go for 2 here. All the underdogs have won so far. Auburn looking to do it again. They hand it off to Price. He adds 2 points. They go up 3. Nebraska blew I believe is a 31-17 lead in the 4th quarter. All the underdogs have won so far. Joel McKinley, he has that special boost this week from the media story. He has 2 TDs on the day, 84 yards. Can we see Julius Swain? Now, you got to watch out. You want to see a deep yam? Watch out for number 81, top of your screen. Arian Green Davis, the number 1 prospect from a few seasons ago. And he gets hit as he throws. It goes down. Julius Swain, not great success today. They need a 1st down. This is one of the best wide receiver corps in the country. You got Arian Green Davis, Washiko Johnston, Dallas Johnson. So see if they can get a yam. And obviously this is a team, the days of Paul Sanford. He floats that one out, and he finds Washiko. He can't get out of bounds. The clock is running. What a tackle there from the defense. They keep him in bounds. They got to hurry it up now. Calais Ingram, the SFA player with the dreads. 3rd and 2. They got to get a lot of yardage here. Swain, and he's sacked. That's going to end the game. No timeouts. Auburn, it completes the upset. There you go, Auburn. So the special is dead from the 3rd week in a row. As once again, disaster for Nebraska. Just unable to find the win column with Julius Swain in this offense. We'll see if they can bounce back, but that is a big-time out-of-conference victory for Auburn and Coach Cabbage. That is the marquee victory of his career thus far at the university. Obviously, already halfway to bowl eligibility is the big point, but now they're going to start getting national recognition, national expectations. I don't know if they can win the division, but they might be able to threaten Oklahoma at least a little bit. 3-0 goes Cabbage. I wish it were rigged, Phil. I wish it were rigged so badly. But unfortunately, nothing here is. The blue square just loves to ruin people's lives. Well, it's always nice to, it's always easy to say, I told you so, in hindsight, right? Joel McKinley gets 2 touchdowns to start, and then Green Davis got himself a touchdown. Dallas Johnson got one. Brandon Price got the game winner, or it was Austin Jackson on that 4th down. What a run. He kept trying to find it. He couldn't cut up field. He finally did. So 25, 41, 395. Honestly, this is kind of the performance we always see from Alfonso. He is good and then also very bad. So it's like, you know, it's kind of hero ball-esque. He got that game-winning touchdown. Price, once again, only 55 yards on the ground. And then Dickerstick gets 66 yards. And on defense, Pittman, he had that game-winning sack. A lot of tackles for loss here. And Calais Ingram, only 4 tackles today. He was a big factor in that Charlotte victory. A deflection from Anthony Griffin. No fumbles. Nebraska, Julius Swain, 227 and 2 touchdowns. This is a guy that he took over for Paul Sanford, and he's really been underwhelming. We really need him to step it up, as they do have Jackson Arroyo sitting behind him, the SFA in-game recruit. So we may see him make an appearance eventually. But Arian Green-Davis, the SFA player with Chico, Joel McKinley, that transfer from Alabama, and Pat Malaholo, the freshman SFA player from Hawaii, 8 pancakes. And on defense, Skip Stackle leads him in tackles. And no sack for Dictator. So we saw him multiple times get shrugged off on that final drive, and that does not hit. That is a tough pill to swallow. And Boggs and Bobo, both SFA players, get sacks. Or, sorry, get interceptions. A lot of deflections here from Appleby. And they still couldn't win the game. Yeah, I think when making the special parlays, our goal isn't for us to make money. Those ones, I think that's more baked into the lines for just every other game. I think those ones are just more for fun and get some kind of theme out there for for you guys to have fun with. But yeah, 3 games in, and we have all underdogs winning so far. So if you're just joining us, I'll recap. BYU beat Army outright. Arizona State beat Louisiana outright. And Auburn beat Nebraska outright. And now here we go. We go to Bryant-Denny to see a push game and see the team that has shocked the country. Alabama starting out 0-2. If you are here, Logan, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive as we get into this game. Remember, this is a push game, so there's no spread or anything. It's just a pick 'em. And the over-under for this game was 56.5. And for that other game, the over hit on that other game. And our BearCave line is an inflated line because Tyrone Cox, he is no longer the starter for Alabama. So if he does get a touchdown, it's an anytime touchdown. That's a plus 200. So that's a pretty good line, I would say, for the backup running back. As we've got rain here, the tears of the SEC after their horrid start to the season. The entire conference is in shambles outside of Auburn and Oklahoma, pretty much. So Iowa State, can they get another big win, trying to become the favorite in the North especially after a Nebraska loss, right? So if they can beat their SEC team, they'll be quite happy. The house, well, when it comes to CC Sportsbook, the house does not always win. We've been profitable these first 2 weeks by like 20 grand total, which is actually I think is kind of the sweet spot. Yeah, the first 2 years of the sportsbook were not profitable whatsoever. We were losing like hundreds upon thousands of coins. All right, so I don't see Logan here, so we're going to go heads and kick. Doc Buckley, I believe, is number 67 for Alabama. The SFA left tackle. He's an in-game recruit. So here we go. Next drive. Can Iowa State start out? Alabama does get a field goal. Can E.J. Irons do something? Well, he does something here. A 10-0 start against Jamar Siggins. Here goes Alabama. They're up 24-0. They're making a statement here at home. 31-0 at halftime. Oh, Logan is getting ran out the door. They don't come up with 8 points. It's 38-0. Iowa State in shambles here at Bryant-Denny. Can they make an epic comeback? Does not look like it. Looks like they are going to get ran out the door. 45-14. And this game is pretty much over. We're just going to sim to the end. They're making it a little better on the score sheet. 45-21 is the final, though. Oh, boy. That is not good for the Big 12 North if you're an Iowa State fan. And Alabama gets back in the win column. Callahan, Pollock, Sean Williams, and I don't see a touchdown here for Tyrone Cox, unfortunately. So let's check the stats here. The over does hit on the over-under. And obviously Alabama wins. So Siggins had 2 picks. Not a great day here in the rain. And they couldn't really run it. I mean, Sellers, 4.6 carry is good. But once you get down by a lot, they're down 38-0. You got to throw the rock, right? Not great numbers here. No, only 1 sack given up. And Scumbag, he had 17 tackles. Some tackles for loss here, yes. No sacks. No extracurriculars. Couple of deflections, 1. No forced fumbles. No fumble recoveries. Tough showing here for Alabama. And now, if we go to E.J. Irons, 15-24, that's the way to respond. He gets 5 touchdowns here, 62% through the air. And then Sean Williams, Tyrone Cox, he got 3 carries, couldn't get a touchdown out of it. Goes for 229 on the ground. Callahan, sharp. And no catches for our boy Robbie Reese. Interesting. Blocking. And then on defense, Jimmy Don Willie, how'd he do? He had 3 tackles. TFLs, Handy had 3. Sacks, only 1. They got the interceptions. And deflections, pace, forced fumbles, no. And that will do it here from Bryant-Denny. So still technically all the underdogs have won, and then you had Alabama win. So big game from EJ. Once I post you on Instagram, it's the curse, right? So I called Alabama out, and here they go. They'll finish 10-2. They'll be fine. Welcome in, Nathan. Tough loss this week against Arkansas. All right. So now we move on to the Sickos game of the week. So Maddox, if you're here, heads or tails, kick or receive. This has been a tumultuous week for that coach, to say the least. Had some internet troubles, I guess you could say, as I'm looking for the Conference USA here. Land themselves in the Sickos matchup. I picked this game well before all that stuff even happened as well. So don't worry about it. But yeah, so we got Tulane taking on Purdue, who a lot of people hold Purdue stock. So I felt like that they deserved at least a shout. If you're betting on this game, it is a 1.5 point favorite for the away Tulane. And as far as the over-under goes, I gotta find it. It is a 44.5, so quite a low line. And then we're gonna see, can Woofy Tibbs get multiple touchdowns today? So tails and receive for Maddox. Very even match here, but I do know Purdue is without their quarterback, Coker. So we'll see what happens. Alabama stomped them. Alabama won 45-21, but they're up 38-0 in the second half. So big comeback for Bama. So here we go. Tulane traveling on the road to Purdue. It might be a little bit cold, so you know these Louisiana boys might not be able to handle it. But look at the lack of fans in the crowd. This is a down in the dumps Purdue team. This would be quite a rebuild to attempt. We have a user there, but he hasn't really done much. And look at the Boilermaker train. All right, so we wanted tails and receive here for Maddox, and this is going to be the first career start for Tracy Potes. And he wants to receive. He wants the ball. He's going to score. Here we go. Nick is all aboard the Purdue train. He's even chewing. As no score here early on. 7-0 there for Tulane. And they're about to score here in the second quarter. So second quarter, they go up 14-0. Big start for Tulane. And 14-0 as we hit halftime. Nothing doing for this Purdue offense yet. As Purdue puts together a drive, and somehow they get 2 points. They must have fumbled it out of the back of the end zone or something, turned the ball over, got the safety. So 20-2 right now. Quite an interesting result. Definitely a scoregami if this 2 holds. As we get an interception, please hold, dude. We want a 2-point scoregami. Please. Come on, Tulane. It'd be hilarious in the OnlyFan Bowl if we get a 2-point finish. No, they're going to let up a touchdown. Get a stop. Please. Yes, it's 4th down. We're watching this play. 4th and goal. I'm sorry, I'm watching this play. Doesn't matter, of course, but 2 points and a scoregami on the line. They're going to run a screen pass. He dumps it off. Can he get the tackle? They do. Let's go, Tulane. Tulane is my favorite team in the country, baby. They're going to go 2-0. They hold them to 2 points. And let's sim ahead. If they give up a pick six, I'm going to be so mad. And there it is. We get 20-2 is the final. That has to be a scoregami. The under hits by double. What a sickos game. And Whoop-dee-Tibbs gets 3 touchdowns. So the prop bet hits. What a game. Oh my God, baby. Coach Maddox is the hottest name in the sport. Whoop-dee-Tibbs, 3 touchdowns. Tracy Potes, his first career start, he doesn't throw for any touchdowns, but he leads this offense. And how about Whoop-dee-Tibbs? He was a defensive end or a running back, and they chose running back, and he has popped off in his first 2 games against Power 5 opponents. Whoo! Man, we gotta get the Tulane chants going, baby. Roll green wave. I don't know what the chants even are, but 10 tackles here for the defense. 5 tackles for loss for both these guys. You get 2 sacks from both of them. What a game. Massey, you get the deflections as well. All of the tumultuous, weak shenanigans lead to one of the best games we've ever seen here. This is a true classic. As let's check out Purdue here. Anthony Armstrong is the starter. Not looking too hot. Eric Wood, they couldn't get the touchdown there at the end. I mean, nothing doing much here. Gave up 5 sacks. And on the defensive end, Sean Smith gets 14. And a lot of tackles for loss here. No sacks. No interceptions. No 3 deflections here. Boom, baby. 20-2 is your final from Purdue. An absolute classic here in the Sickos game of the week. That one lived up to the hype of the week, man. That was brilliant. Well done, Maddox. I know, Dogwater. Dummies bought Purdue. What are you doing? Just because the price is low does not mean it's a good investment. Roll wave. Whoop-dee-Tibbs, baby. All right, folks. Now we're going to go to the Patreon choice game of the week. So we've got Charlotte at Texas Tech. So Kenzie does get priority as he is the away team for the call out. And then we've got BearCave jersey selection. So hold on, I got to find the jerseys that they want. I just saw Kenzie do all gold. Didn't see anything from Pizza Time. It's too late to submit, so we're going to go all gold for Charlotte. Yeah, I only have Mike, Game Day, A&M. Okay. And this game is a 4.5-point spread for the home team, Texas Tech, who knocked off North Texas on the road. And then the over-under for this game, survey says, is 55.5. And our prop bet is, how many tackles will Winnie Corso get? Will it get over under 9.5 today? That is the question. So Charlotte, here we go. Tails and kick. A lot of people bet on Purdue. So we got Charlotte averaging 7 points a game. Oddly enough, still averaging over double what Coach Nick is averaging over at Tennessee. So let Kenzie cook. No, Dogwater. Tennessee is still the worst offense in the country. Don't get it twisted. Hey, Charlotte, we're going to see his triple option quarterback, see if he can do anything. I think if they lose, he's going to probably want to pivot to the better backups, but we'll see. Texas Tech had that big win. Concepcion, the quarterback, Kenny Garrison, the wide receiver, are proving to be a dynamic duo. All right, so we got, what did Kenzie say? Kenzie, tails, and kick. All right. So Charlotte will start out with the rock. Here we go here. This is the Sam Howell Bowl, as these are both super fans of Sam Howell. 3-0 for Charlotte. Texas Tech, they do get a touchdown. Here comes Texas Tech, but a quick touchdown for Charlotte. Hold on, folks. This could get hairy. Charlotte up 13. 20-0 Charlotte. Remember, all of the underdogs have still won besides Tulane. So as we go to halftime, 23-7. 30-7. Here comes Texas Tech. Can they make it a game? They've got to get stops. They've got to be able to stop this rushing offense. And they do get one there, still down 9. They didn't decide to go for 2. So we're going to go one play at a time, see if Texas Tech can get back in this game. But Zumba's running it down their throat. Look at this drive. Remember, we can't jump in. It's not a one-score game. They're going to end this in one drive. What a drive from Charlotte. Charlotte gets the first win of the season on the back of the run game. Holy Toledo. Sims gets the touchdowns. And that will do it, folks. Right down their throat. So Aaron Walton, he was injured against in the first week, and then, they got blown out by Georgia Tech. Stinker in the passing game, but running the ball, you had Zach Sims, Toby Zuma, you had Aaron Walton, Nico McMotors. Wow. All right, moment of truth. How many tackles did our boy Winnie Corso get? Oh, I'm sick. He only got 3. Oh, boo. 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 All right, 2 sacks. Manny Midline, the BearCave reward player, gets sacked. McPherson gets a interception. Of course, now the Winnie Corso still sucks. Hate is still going to come in, of course. 3 forced fumbles here for Charlotte. It normally goes the other way. So, all right, Winnie got you some forced fumbles. There you go. All right, now how did Texas Tech do? Josh Concepcion, not that great of a day. He had that interception. They could not run the ball. We saw him able to run the ball. It looks like actually Daryl Hale-Miller left the game here. Kenny Garrison, 89 yards, gets a touchdown. A lot of tackles here up front. 3 TFLs from the defensive tackle, just kind of going right up the gut. But the run game, they couldn't handle them today. And that will do it here from, I believe that's Lubbock, is where Texas Tech is. So, quite an interesting BearCave, to say the least, today, folks. We, yeah, I mean, all these underdogs are winning by multiple scores, and that kind of makes me nervous for this next game, as, oh dear, the biggest underdog of the day. Here comes Coach Crew. All right, Crew, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. Oh, I hate playing on BearCave, the number 3 team in the country. I just don't want to be forced to watch Tavarius Trace live. That's the problem. I trust him in sim, not live, right? So, Coach Crew, if you're here, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive. This is a 12.5 point favorite for East Carolina. The over-under for this game is going to be 53.5. And our gameplay player prop today is Jaws Patterson interceptions. Will he throw a pick today? He did not throw a pick all of last year before he got injured, so he's the only quarterback who started like multiple games to not throw an interception. So, me and Nick do have the best rosters, and we're a combined 2-1. So, how does that look? Here comes Pitt. The talent of your team does not always translate, especially to BearCave. I feel like it translates more to game day. But we are the highest scoring offense in the country against the number 3. I mean, Pitt was ranked last week. They beat the shit out of Nevada and dropped out of the rankings. So this is a fringe ranked team. There's Coach TC talking to his defensive coordinator, Shelby Harris, getting ready to try and stop Jaws Patterson in this rush offense. We are here. Oh, baby. The home of East Carolina in Greenville, North Carolina, where Heimlich Heisenberg has his jersey retired. Dowdy Ficklin. All right, tails and kick. All right, so Coach Crew gets here just in time. Jaws Patterson, is this his year? He wants to kick, so we'll see East Carolina first here. Oh boy, both teams 2-0. The ACC is showing to be the best conference this year. So this is a high-powered matchup. East Carolina with a quick touchdown. And the defense working well for ECU. They're up to a 14-0 start in the first quarter. We love to see that. But here comes Pitt. We know it's not going to be easy. It never is. 21-7. And all right, we head to halftime. Yes, we stop them at the 1. They tried to go to Keontae Duckett. With 1 second left, they did not get it, so we maintained the 2-score lead in the halftime. I love that. I don't care about the cover. And it's a 1-score game. We get a field goal. I don't know how I feel. Mario Thurman, please put it back to 3. Let's go. No, it was a field goal. Dang it, it's at 13. So we go one at a time. We'll go one at a time here. See if Pittsburgh can battle back, make this close as... Oh, missed field goals. That always happens to me. Here we go. Pitt's going to run down the field. Hold on. They punt it back. Trace to Thurman. Vanilla Vic. Run this clock out, folks. Please, please, just run it out. Just run it out. Just run it out. Please, just run it out. No! A fumble on the goal line. What are we doing? Defense, please, get a stop. No! Defense, please. Please. All right, we're up 2 scorers. They're not going to score again, are they? Fumble! Dexter Glasscock, baby. You love to see it. We're going to get the cover. Boom! The under hits, but ECU gets the cover at 12.5. Let's go! Elharm, you will be very happy to be here when ECU loses and I do the biased commentary. Holy, Corbin Hodges, Crew. This SFA reject, he cooks, dude. Watch out for Corbin Hodges. This guy is a beast at tight end. All right, so let's check here. Jaws Patterson, no interceptions. So the under hits on his interception line. He is elite at not turning the ball over. Phillip Edwards fumbled it, though, on the last drive. And I love this Corbin Hodges guy, the SFA player, reject. And then Keontae Duckett, the 5-star freshman, only 2 catches. He's a possession guy, so. And then defensively, Rafi Spriggs, SFA player. Deshaun Fellows, a transfer from North Carolina. Clutie Bolton, the SFA player as well. Lead in tackles. Tackles for loss, everybody kind of getting involved. Only 1 sack today from Jeff Parker. And a couple deflections. Carl Baker got the fumble recovery. Now let's check East Carolina. See how our boy Tavarius Trace did. And this is him. This is the stat line he was putting up at UCLA. terrible. I mean, he's just a game manager, right? You know, he's just, well, whatever. But Vanilla Lovic, baby, it is his year. He is going to win the Heisman. Lock it in. Lock it in. Mario Thurman leads us. Vlad Sexton gets involved. Love to see that. Shh, we don't talk about the fumbles. Who got the fumble? Oh, Vanilla Vic, bro. All right, Theodore Chon, though, stuffed up the middle. He had 5 TFLs. What a day. Poe Castle gets 2 TFLs. Josiah Bird gets 2. So we were just living in the backfield. 4 sacks, all by SFA players. No interceptions. And there you go, Pin. 1 tackle for your boy. Deflections from Champagne and Glasscock. Fumble recovery was Castle and Glasscock. So Castle is proving to be a valuable asset in there. Gets a sack, gets forced fumble, tackles for loss. He is not my highest rated outside linebacker, so like to see him be in there. All right, man. I mean, heck, Pittsburgh a year ago, that was a big blowout. So watch out for Pitt. I mean, he just gave me a decent run for my money. He made my definitely made the cheeks clench here at the end over at SFA HQ. All right, so we're moving along here pretty swiftly. We haven't jumped into a game since the Auburn game, so we're moving on. And this is an interesting one. A lot of people might question why I decided to put this on BearCave. Well, you know, it's pretty much the best team in the country over the last, 10 years in the SFA in Clemson. And then this is Notre Dame's debut in the ACC. So their first ever game as a full member. Remember, Miami got kicked out. Notre Dame got added. So we'll see. This is a full CPU versus CPU game. We'll see if Notre Dame can shock the world here. They are currently unranked. They made the playoff a couple of years ago. They actually beat Clemson in that first round in double OT on a Walter Hearn interception, if you guys remember that one. And then last year they had a down year. I don't even remember if they made a bowl game. So they're going to Death Valley here. Howard's Rock, running down the hill, whatever. Got different shaded helmets on the sideline for Notre Dame. Can Notre Dame do it again? They did it in the Peach Bowl last time, so not too far from here. Clemson's just a short drive north. So we're going to go heads and kick as always. So 0-0. How will Clemson start? Remember, the questions around Clemson is not their roster. It's at quarterback. The replacement for Walter Hearn is only a 79. So we're not sure if he is the guy. They are 2-0. They beat 2 ranked teams in a row. So they should be easy, but they only have a 7 points here. And last week we saw that they started out 21-0 against Illinois and did not score again. Looks like they got a kickoff return, though, to start the second half. And when you don't have the best offense, that's what you need to do, lean on other ways, is now they lose the lead here. Here comes Notre Dame. They have a 3-point lead in the fourth quarter. This is getting a bit hairy here. Notre Dame, they cannot do it. So we're going to go one play at a time here. And I don't know what the over-under is. I did not say it. Shoot, let me, before we move on, I just want to make sure you guys know this is a 5-point favorite for Clemson. And 55.5 is the line, and the BearCave line is Ryan Hubbard TDs. So we'll see if Ryan Hubbard did in fact get TD. As we're going to go play-by-play here. Clemson does have the ball. They're going backwards in a 4th down. So here comes Notre Dame. Can they finish this game out, or are they going to have to punt it back? They are going to have to punt it back. So we're at the 2-minute mark here. Big play to Hubbard. And we're going to jump in. Can Clemson get a game-winning drive? This is one of the most clutch teams in SFA history. We've seen this team do ridiculous things. Some of the best plays we've ever seen. But that was a while ago. This is a new era. And a broken tackle here. That is their new quarterback. He is a redshirt senior, Patrick Turner. He is a 79 overall. And remember, Omar Woods is hurt. They're starting running back. So there's Ryan Hubbard, the star wide receiver on this team. He broke out in the ACC championship against East Carolina last year on a couple of big plays. Had a great playoff run. or playoff game against Georgia Southern. They didn't make a run. But 1st and 10, he is picked there. He doesn't have a touchdown yet. They're delivering it deep. That's Jeff Keys down the sideline. What a block! And they're inside the 15. Jeff Keys. Not only was it a great throw, but he got a fantastic block from his fellow wide receiver there. Selfless play here at Clemson. So nice little yam there from Clemson. Now they're in business. Obviously in range to tie it. Can they take the lead? He flips that out to the receiver. That is going to be Hubbard. He only gets 6. Remember, we're looking for the BearCave prop, a anytime touchdown from Ryan Hubbard. It does not appear he has one yet. 17-14. Can Notre Dame hold on? Patrick Turner. Plenty of time, no rush to speak of. Floats out to the running back, and he's not going to get the first down. That's Bob Patton. He is the backup running back. Remember, Omar Woods is out this week. He has a minor injury. Nice day for Patrick Turner. Hasn't been turned the ball over, but these 3rd down conversions are booty cheeks. 2 for 12. 3rd inches. He keeps it himself. He goes down again. They continue to suck, and now decision time. Do you kick the field goal, or are you going to try to get aggressive? They're kicking the field goal here. So they tie it up. 17-17. Are we going to get overtime? And you know in these close games, Clemson always seems to be the team to do the deed here. So, oh, big hit there at the 15. So Notre Dame has no timeouts. Clemson still has 3. So if they can get a couple of stops, maybe they can get the ball back here. But I think Clemson probably playing for overtime at this point. Notre Dame will see what they decide to do with no timeouts. First and 10. Hits the slant over the middle. A nice play. He pushes forward, gets that first down. Grant Day thrust into a starting role after Peter Woods transferred to TCU. So 1st and 10. Stevens is the quarterback. Over the middle, he finds his man. This time it's dropped. That's Day again. And players to watch on this defense, Rylan Magnusum, the SFA player there in the middle with those arm pads. And I believe that they have another SFA player as well, Rodriguez. Dumps it off, and he makes the play there. Zach Everson goes down. Warren Stevens here, 3rd and 1. Less than 40 seconds left. Floats that one out wide. That's going to be a first down, a lot more. He gets out to the 47. That's Grant Day again. He has been the target. So we are in yam range for the Fighting Irish. 30 seconds left. Clemson definitely playing for OT. Stevens drops back. He has time. Dumps that off to the running back. He gets hit. But they are across the 50, making these yams a little bit easier. They decide to go for one. Stevens up to 2 touchdowns today, trying to force a crazy upset and continue their ownage of the Fighting Irish as they struggle to tackle, but they do bring them down. And now all of a sudden, remember, Notre Dame doesn't have timeouts. Notre Dame, they have to get up and spike this. Do they have time? 1-0. They leave a second on the clock. That guy, Harry, the running back, was trying to extend the play, and he almost cost him the game. So we're going to get a yam to the end zone. Notre Dame is going to try to win this in regulation, or are we going to go to overtime here in Death Valley? They run the press. That is an interesting call from this defense. Steffens, he has time. He's yamming that one deep. It's a nice floater. 3-on-1. It's tipped, and it drops. We're going to OT. We got OT on BearCave, folks. That's what you love to see. And this BearCave is running very long. We're already up over an hour today. That one, you know, they teach you to knock it down, right? That one was hanging up there for ages. That is our that's our calling card, Harm. Yamming it deep. That's what you do in the SFA. Oh, a nice cut from Everson. He breaks a tackle, and he's still going. So remember, just a few seasons ago in the Season 12 playoffs, it was a 1 versus 8 matchup. Clemson number 1, Notre Dame number 8. And Notre Dame walked into the Peach Bowl and beat Clemson in double OT. Can they do it again today? Only on home field this time. Stevens up the gut. He goes down. 2nd and goal. Second and goal here for Stevens. Can they punch it in for the touchdown? Gonna hand it off to Everson. He reverses field and he goes down. Third and goal here in Death Valley. Can Notre Dame punch it in, or is Clemson gonna get the first stop? They're egging on the crowd here. They bring a blitz and they get to him. The corner blitz gets home. Is that TJ Alvarez, the starting corner? So field goal unit comes on out to get the first points on the day. Notre Dame trying to take the lead. It's a 30-yard chip shot from left hash, and it's good. Quite interesting. Remember, this isn't a real score. This game's coming up shortly. So that's a fake score. I mean, what big balls on 3rd down, not dropping your best corner man into coverage. Instead, you rush him from the short side. Brilliant from Clemson here. And now they can win it with a touchdown, tie it with a field goal. And he floats it to his man, and wait a second, flag on the play. Offensive pass interference. We know that call well. Took too long for the screen to develop. Those offensive linemen got too far downfield. And they throw the flag. So great start here for the Notre Dame defense. Now remember, Walter Hearn ended that game in the playoff in Season 12 on an interception. So it'll be interesting to see. Notre Dame could do it here. 1st and 20. And we're yamming it to the corner, and Jeff Keys, the top receiving target, brings that one in. Nice catch. Getting them back in manageable range. Remember, they're trying to win this game. They don't want to settle for a field goal. Shotgun. Hubbard in the slot. Delay give on the blitz, and hits his dump-off man. Clint Jones powers for a first down. That was a great play. You know, despite the rating, I'm really impressed with this quarterback, Patrick Turner. He has some great pocket awareness. He got that one off. 1st and 10, inside the 15. We're empty. Still looking for a Ryan Hubbard touchdown for the sportsbook. Gonna hand it off to the receiver. Up the gut. He gets hit hard, Trey Graham, and they give him the first down. Welcome in, pizza. So we're inside the 5. A touchdown wins it. Notre Dame, they got stopped, and we have more Wildcat here, and the running back does not get it done. Bob Patton. Jake Pendleton on the tackle. So it'll be interesting. Can Notre Dame get a reverse goal line stand? Clemson did to them. 2nd and goal. Can Clemson punch it in? They're unable to at the end of regulation. Counter. There he goes. Patton, and he scores. Clemson walks it off. Number 2 survives. They aren't going to get the cover, but that will get the job done. Stay in the win column, and they hand Notre Dame their first ever ACC loss. As it was Jeff Keys who got that kickoff return at the start. And once again, in these close BearCave games, Clemson always survives. Hold on, folks. We might have gotten a crash. So if you were a Notre Dame fan, you might have gotten lucky here. We'll see if it catches up here in a second, but we might have to force quit. The blue square strikes. They did not like that Clemson walk-off, I guess. All right. It is crashed. So, let me mute the stream so I don't ruin your ears. So, if you're new to the SFA, we run this all on PC. We run it through an emulator. And the thing about emulators is it's very hard to mimic a console, right? It is possible, but it obviously has its flaws. Every now and again, the game will crash or we'll get some visual glitches. So how it works is my game always auto-saves, but it won't auto-save the game we're in currently. So we're likely going to have to replay this Notre Dame-Clemson game. So everything we just watched, erase it from your mind, and whatever happens next is what will be the final result. So we're not going to force sim it till Clemson wins. The blue square has said this game needs to be replayed, and that's the way we operate. Now, if it was a natty, it might be different because you would have just won it, right? So, like, I think it was the Season 7 National Championship. It glitched at the end, and we just obviously kept the same result. So, yeah, no, but if it's one of these games, no. Unless it's saved, unless we got lucky. No, we did not. All right, folks, so erase those plays from your mind. So now let's see what happens. We'll see if Clemson gets the screw job or if they survive again. Will be interesting to see. Maybe we'll get a better result. Maybe we'll get the same one. So we got rain this time. Yes, sir. When it freezes, we just replay the game. So we're getting this. So if you're a Clemson bettor, you get a second chance here. So first quarter. 7-0 Notre Dame. 14-0 Notre Dame. Oh boy, here we go. 21-0 Notre Dame. Clemson getting smoked now. They do get one back. They get another one before half. All right, another close one. Notre Dame adds a touchdown. Oh, this one's getting hairy for Clemson. They battle back. All right, here we go. Nothing doing. All right, one play at a time. 4th and 11. And they punt it. Interesting call there. 4th and 2. All right, back at it. We watched the games, obviously, so I'm not even going to get the highlights for that last game because it will not count in the SFA lore. This is the game result we're going with. So Clemson, can they do it again? They had to get a field goal last time. This time they drop it. We're in the rain here. They need a touchdown this time. Yeah, the blue square definitely has helped Clemson for many years, so I don't feel bad for Clemson at all if they lose this one. So we're still on the under here, I believe, Nick, as Bob Patton gets about 7. Clock is running. Remember, it was a Clemson no cover in the under hit in that last matchup. Probably we're looking at the same results here, unless Notre Dame wins outright. Definitely on track for overtime yet again. 3 and 3. We just increase some visual stuff, like with the revamp mod. Some stuff is visualized, lighting's changed. Some enhancements as we go over the middle, wide open, man, there goes Clemson. Another big play. So we're getting pretty similar timelines, if I don't say so myself. Turner, they run up, they're inside the 30, and dumps that one off an open man. That's Hubbard over the middle on the slant, and he powers through, gets inside the 20. Hubbard has 2 touchdowns, so now the BearCave prop does hit. So if you bet no on the TDs for, or you can't bet no, so that's only a good thing for you guys paying out money. It's picked off! He overthrew it. Notre Dame gets the pick. He overthrew his tight end, and that's going to end the game. Notre Dame. So they still got to get a first down here, as they still have the timeouts. And heartbreak here for Clemson as the blue square strikes again. They had the win on Notre Dame, but this time Notre Dame survives. Unless we get another miraculous Clemson finish. Clemson did win in overtime, but it was the game crashed, so we had to replay it. And how we do things is we don't just give out free matchups, as we get a big run there to end the game. That will do it. CJ Siegel gets it done. Clemson will fall this time after throwing a pick. So game is over. Notre Dame is going to win 28-21. The under hits. Notre Dame does win outright. So in their first career ACC game, Notre Dame gets it done. They'll start out 1-0. And so that means Clemson falls 0-1. Buffalo lost today. Now, it wasn't an ACC game, but now is all of a sudden Notre Dame kind of up there in that talk. I mean, they just beat Clemson. Surely they'll get ranked after this week. Big win today here for Clemson. Hubbard gets into the end zone. Clemson could not get it done. Could not overcome the blue square. The Catholics strike again. Notre Dame continues their dominance over the Clemson Tigers. Big road game. Hopefully we don't crash again here. Yep, it's all part of the blue square. That's what we dub it. But that overthrow, I mean, Clemson, you deserve to lose on that one, right? So if the game ever crashes during a game or while I'm loading back, in the regular season, we just watch the result and we replay the game. Now, if it's a conference championship or it's a bowl game or CFP, if the result is already done, then we will just resim till we get a similar result. Like this one, it was 23 Clemson, 20 Notre Dame. If that was a conference championship, that result would stand. But if the game is at all going, if it's 28-21 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter and we get a crash, then you replay it. So the only time we don't resim crashes is if the game's already been completed in a postseason game. As Notre Dame this time, no kickoff return, no miracle for Clemson. Warren Stevens, 21-33, 282, 4 touchdowns. Siegel gets 100 yards on the ground. Day, Alexander, Wright, and Jolly. Who needs Peter Woods? And then on defense, John Crimson, the SFA player, in-game recruit, 5 TFLs. He had 2 sacks, 3 for Jason King, Jonathan Butler. They had 2 picks here for Johnny Stevenson, bringing in that crazy one, the overthrow, and no fumbles. And then Patrick Turner, he had the 2 picks. You can't be having that in these big games, especially in the rain. Ryan Hubbard did his thing, but they just couldn't overcome some mistakes. And on defense, TFLs, you got Riley Magnuson getting the TFL, and you got 2 sacks here. And then Slam Rodriguez, the SFA player, 4 TFLs, or 4 tackles, deflection from Brian Johnson. They did get a fumble force and recovery from Slam Rodriguez, the SFA in-game recruit. And that will end our game. Remember, folks, game day is right after this. We've got a good one. We've got Coach Mike and Georgia Tech taking on Coach Nick and Tennessee. Remember, I always got to get my players of the game here. So 2 matchups left here in Week 3 BearCave. We've had a ton of underdogs win today. And this is kind of what the SFA is all about. You think you know one thing, and then we have a crazy week like this where all the underdogs win, and then it completely like reshapes the landscape. Like what you thought was good in Week 3 is so much different than Week 7. So who do we got next here? We have the the Ohio State and North Carolina game. Oh, baby. So this is an Ohio State team that's been impressive. They had an overtime loss to Georgia, and then they beat Alabama on the road. And then North Carolina, they beat Stanford on BearCave. And then we didn't see them last week. So, Sirlaxis Bryo, if you're here, kick or receive. As this spread is a 2-point favorite for the away team, Ohio State. And the over-under for this game is going to be 45.5. And the BearCave prop bet is Brock Thunderbird rush yards, 64.5. You might think that's a low line, but they haven't really used their running back so far, the transfer from Mississippi State. We'll see if he can get involved here today. So I don't see Sirlaxis Bryo, so we'll just go kick if we win. And we do, so we're going to kick it off. There's Sid Nash, the transfer from Arizona, the member of the Legion of Dread. So here we go, folks. Ohio State starts it out. Lance Malone is on all cylinders. He gets 2 touchdowns to start the day. They get a touchdown, but they miss the extra point for UNC. And this could be bad for the ACC. Oh, wait, all of a sudden, here comes the ACC. I spoke way too soon as Clemson did lose. And if Buffalo lost, it would be a shame if North Carolina lost as well. The only top 10 team that could win this week is East Carolina. But UNC extends the lead. We're up to 9, so we can't jump in yet. Ohio State, there they go. They get the touchdown back. Can North Carolina hang on? We're going to go one play at a time here and jump in at that 2-minute mark. This is a good game. In the sim, I think, hold up. In the sim, wasn't it 28-23 was the score when the game was sim? So this could be a fun same game score here. As 4th and 8, we're going to watch 21-23 here. 4th and 8. In Ohio State, they got to go for it. So 4th down, Lance Malone, the freshman quarterback. He's had quite a few big plays already in his short career, all on BearCave. Lance Malone, open man, hits the slant. 1st down, Ohio State. Remember, Ohio State never has a good kicker, so they're always going for these. So Lance Malone, dude, he has balls of steel. Is that you, Kachu, the SFA transfer from NC State on the tackle? You also have Sid Nash with those dreadlocks in the backfield there. And that's tipped away. What a play by the linebacker. Blitzing, he knew he couldn't get to Malone, so he jumps up. All right, 2nd and 10. Ohio State here, the 20. He keeps it. There goes Lance Malone. Not known for his speed, but he runs over you, Kachu. Oh, baby. Lance Malone hero ball at its finest. So we're inside the 10. Can Ohio State take a touchdown lead? They could always settle for a field goal here. Handoff, Dallas Jacobs up the gut. Dallas Jacobs, he spent most of his career behind guys like Malik Nicholson. But he finally gets the start. 2nd and goal at the 1. Can UNC hold? 2nd and goal. Lance is going to throw it. And he finds his man, Daniel Jackson. Touchdown, Ohio State. Lance Malone does it again. So they're going for 2 now to try to go up by 6. Malone in motion, Daniel Jackson. He's going to keep it here, and he finds some room! Lance Malone! What a play! So now North Carolina down 6. 1 timeout left. We'll see, can Josh Garrett, the new starter, he's no longer the backup, playing because of injuries. We get a big hit. Terrell Cummins. These are the moments where Sir Laxus Bryo needs to prove that UNC belongs. Josh Garrett here, Brock Thunderbird in the backfield. Jamison LaCosta, the tight end. Garrett, he has time. He takes off, and they bring him down. He also has Clayton Forte at wide receiver, the guy who does play wide receiver and cornerback. A true sim athlete. We don't often see those, especially on Power 5 teams. Garrett, they hurry up, gets it to Thunderbird, and he drops the ball. So Garrett, decent day. You would like the completion percentage to be a lot better, honestly. So they're down 6 here in their own territory. 1 minute 28. The clock isn't the issue right now. The down is. It's 3rd and 10. Got to get a lot of this back. Garrett, he has time. He's floating that to the sideline. Open man, first down. And Josh Garrett, man, he is a good quarterback. He's the man that led him to a win in against ECU last year and in the Citrus Bowl against Dogwater. So Garrett, he has time, floats this again, and another catch. No, they call that incomplete. So D. Manning couldn't make that play. So they're still at their 33. This is fringe yam range. Still possible, but you'd like to get a lot closer if you have to yam it. Floating it over to the right. They can't get out of bounds, and they're short of the line to gain. So clock is starting to run now. Darren Ware couldn't get there. Almost 200 yards for Garrett. 3rd and 1 here. Watch out for Brock Thunderbird. A counter to that right side could be special. Taking their time. They are going to throw it here. Only a 4-man rush. Garrett takes off. He got a nice little block there. He slides for the first. Is Sean Storm pushing him down? We're now underneath a minute. Josh Garrett across midfield. Sean Storm, top of your screen, 1-on-1. Gets the jam. He's going to take off again. He only gets 2. Clock is continuing to tick. You can't keep taking off for short gains. You got to start throwing the ball. They hurry back to the line here. 2nd and 8. Garrett, he has time. Plenty of time. Only 2-man rushing. They're playing contain. And Sean Storm can't bring him down, but still. Garrett continues to take off, and clock is just bleeding away as they use their final timeout. Bad clock management here from Coach Sir Laxus Bryo as we're at 17 seconds left now. 3rd and 4. Maybe only 2 plays left. Garrett. Once again, only 1-man rushing. He is yamming this one. He finds his man. They go out of bounds. Ashley Burke. Big play. So 12 seconds left here. Chance to maybe 2 plays to the end zone. Josh Garrett cannot take off with this rock. Man in motion. 1st and 10 to win the game. Garrett floats it to the end zone. He has his man. Lee Brown. Touchdown. Right on RJ Ware's dome. UNC is an extra point away from taking the lead. Is now Ohio State is going to freeze the kicker. Can UNC score? They are going to use all of these timeouts. They'll use their 3rd as well, then making this a very hyped up touchdown. An extra point. Can UNC take the lead and knock off Ohio State and Lance Malone? The kick is up. And it's good! UNC takes the lead. Oh, baby. The ACC, they lose Buffalo, they lose Clemson, sure, but guess what? All the folks that say the Coastal Division is bad, well, look at here, baby. ECU and UNC in the top 5, and potentially Georgia Tech joining us a little bit later. Screw the Atlantic Division. Buffalo loses, Clemson loses. The Coastal is on top, baby. The UNC. Yes, UE. Unless we have some Lance Malone heroics here. They got 4 seconds to see how far Lance Malone can throw it. The freshman pocket passer he's already faced in 3 weeks. Georgia, Alabama, and UNC. Quite the teams he's had to face. No Terrell Flowens on the field. Remember, he is hurt, the SFA player. Lance Malone, he is going to yam it deep. No, he gets sacked. Down he goes. UNC survives. 3rd sack of the day for David Johnson. UNC wins by 1 point. And that is the end of the game, folks. Josh Garrett is your player of the game. A beautiful throw to the end zone there. And Mike was right. They were baiting him to run, and he finally decided, no, you know what? I'm going to beat him with my arm. And they did. 30-29. What a game. As we have 1 game left here. As the over kills it in that game. And Ohio State doesn't get the cover, the 2-point cover. 1 more game, folks. It's Baylor and Texas A&M. A fantastic one here. And we got to check on Brock Thunderbird. Did he hit that rushing mark? And for those of you guys who are interested in the sim game props and who was the highest scoring sim team, it was USC against SMU. Pretty big surprise in my opinion. I did not have USC doing that on my bingo card. Welcome in, Flame. Love this graphic. I don't know what we're doing there. The field cam. Maybe that's the pylon cam. Alright. Get a nasty update. Alright. That was number 5 on our all-time games. Interesting. Alright. So Brock Thunderbird does get a touchdown. That was a nutty final game. Alright. So Josh Gary here. 3 touchdowns. Brock Thunderbird gets over 100 yards, so he blows that 64.5 line out of the water. Felt disrespected by that, I feel ya. Jamison LaCosta, the SFA player, getting 50 yards. Nice. Lee Brown catching both touchdowns. David Manning getting involved as well. He missed a throw there late. And then on defense, 10 tackles for Minor. A lot of TFLs here. 10 TFLs total. 3 sacks for David Johnson. No interceptions. But they did get a few deflections. Sid Nash got 2. He only got 3 tackles. Normally gets a lot more. But Yukachu gets 1. No forced fumbles of any kind, but they still survived. And then Lance Malone, the star freshman, man, look at him go, man. I mean, despite starting 1 and 2, they've lost in double overtime in a 1-point game against a top 10 team. They are probably going to be a player to the end, probably for a playoff spot, definitely. It is a rather weak Big Ten this year. On defense, RJ Ware, the SFA player, was the guy to give up the touchdown. 2 sacks, Jamal Parker, no interceptions. Deflections, only 1 from Kirk Jones. 1 forced fumble from Ashawn Storm. He did recover it. And that will do it from here, folks. Auburn got a nice W, a comeback from behind victory. So 1 more game here in BearCave, folks. It is a very long BearCave. Remember, we have game day coming up, and then after game day, we will be posting the watch party game. If you are not a Patreon user and you want to watch that game, I highly recommend it. If you didn't know the final score, I recommend watching that game. It came down to the very, very end, the final play of the game, and it was very entertaining. Stanford always puts up a classic game. So 1 more game left before we start. All right, this is our game day. I just want to make sure there's only 1 more game left. That was it. All right, so Baylor and Texas A&M, 2 Patreon users. We got Baylor's a 2.5-point favorite. Got to find this over-under. The over-under is 56.5. The BearCave prop is Lachey Phantom. Will he get an interception today on Eric Morris? Will Baylor choke? And then we've got jersey requests. So Baylor wants 2018 Chrome helmet. Gold Chrome helmet. 2018. Is it in? There we go. 2018 gold chrome. And then modern all green uniform. So the modern green. Ooh, all right. I see you cooking, Flame. I see you cooking. And then we want white with maroon stripes, including the helmet. So all white for he wants the maroon stripes. So that's the 2019 whites. There we go. All right. No, give me the helmet. All right, there we go. All right, Flame, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. And we will get going here. This is a big one. Baylor already beat Texas. Can he beat Texas A&M? This is another massive, massive game. Baylor 2-0. Texas A&M lost the New Heights Classic Week 1 on game day by just a sliver. Will we see a Lachey Phantom? And we need to get Percy Knox going. He had a terrible game day, and then he had 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown last week. Come on, A&M. Need to get Percy Knox involved. All right, heads in receive for Flame here. All right, so he gets to receive anyways. Will we get to watch this game, or will one of these teams run away with it? One of the hardest places to play, Kyle Field. 7-0, they tie it up for Baylor. Remember, this is another fringe-ranked team in Texas A&M. They are a good team, especially on paper. Talent between these teams on paper is not that different, as they're going back and forth as we got a 21-21 ball game, folks, at halftime. Oh, baby, how's this one going to end? A&M comes out, scores a touchdown. Baylor battles back, responds like they've been doing. But we go to the fourth quarter. It's going to come down to that one mistake. Who is going to make it? A&M, they get the touchdown. They are now... Oh, they force a 3-and-out. All right, so now back against the wall for Baylor. Get a big play from A&M. Can they get a stop? Remember, we don't jump in till that 2-minute mark. All right, Baylor, here we go. 4th down. All right, we're going to watch the 4th down play, and they're punting it. Baylor deciding to punt. Interesting play here. A&M's going to actually come after it, so they're going to rely on the defense. And don't know why they're taking so much time here. Come on, Flame. They don't get to him. So we'll see a return here. And A&M, they have a chance to win the game now. Lachey Phantom on the return, only got about 7. So Rex Beaver's going to come out. A couple of first downs. We'll end it here. Remember, this is not a Flame Baylor traditional team. He's coming in here. Not a lot of SFA players. And Burley gets a big play. He breaks a few tackles. He's still going. All right, so A&M starts out with a bang. They use 1 timeout, but you're probably going to need another first down. Baylor is in desperation mode. They got to force a fumble or something. A big hit does not force it. Remember, long ago are the days of Jamal Okiki VII and the 99 hit power. You gotta have somebody else step up. Handoff. Third down. Baylor has their chance here. They got to get a stop. And is Texas A&M, are they going to get aggressive and throw the ball? We're going to see a vintage Rex Beavers choke. Third and 4. They are going to delay, give it to Burley, and he gets the first down. That is going to end the game here for Baylor. So another top 5 team going down here. We're going to have a nice little BearCave video. Pretty long today. A lot of great games. And another big win here for Coach Skook and his Texas A&M tenure. He just needs to put these wins together. And he can make a playoff. Baylor, obviously, we knew that year 1 for the Baylor era wasn't going to be incredible. But I think starting out 2-1, especially with a win over Texas, that is big. Going 1-1 split with A&M and Texas is no small feat as they start Big 12 play. So this is not a conference game. Remember, folks, conference games, at the end of the day, don't really matter. It's all about winning your conference if you're a Power 5 team. The Group of 5, the non-conference, matters a heck of a lot more. But these games, man, these are just to kind of settle seeding later on, right? So Baylor's mission is to win the Big 12. They couldn't get it done today. There's got a the purple-faced ref comes in. He's in the stands this week. That's the first time we've seen the purple-faced ref in a long time. Ohio State's number 11. So we had Clemson, we had Baylor lose. Oh. I was looking at the purple fan there. The blue square is out today. He is watching these games. Not surprised with all of these major upsets happening today. A lot of coins probably getting paid out. A lot of coins, probably some bad BearCave scores. The Connor Stallions. Oh, man. It's a Tennessee game day. You know there's going to be some shenanigans. It always comes through. So Woods gets touchdown. Percy Knox gets back to the end zone. Callahan coming up clutch. Beavers gets a rushing touchdown. The question is, did Lachey Phantom get an interception? No interception thrown from Eric Morris, so that is already debunked. James Callahan has been run the ball. Remember that other running back. Niall Sheathers, the SFA player, getting a couple of carries today. A lot of pancakes. TFLs, decent. No interceptions. 1 sack. And this is just, Baylor couldn't get the ball back. That's just kind of how it was. Brian Chase gets forced fumble. The decision to go for it on 4th and 5, you probably need to go for it there, especially against Rex Beavers, who had himself a day. Stop the Rex Beavers slander immediately. Todd Burley, or TJ Burley, had that great run at the end to win it. Ray Woods has slowly become a great asset for this team in the slot. Percy Knox, only 4 catches today, but his best day of the season. R.C. Apodaca, the SFA player, gets a lot of pancakes. Corey Patterson. TFL's only 3. Only 1 sack from John Williams. And the deflections, Dale Campbell. 4 forced fumbles. What are all these simmed fumbles that are happening lately? Holy Toledo. Oh, they got all 4 as well, so a lot of turnovers happening lately here on BearCave. This is definitely a week that has been dominated by the blue square. When do you see 4 fumbles in a game? So that's why Baylor lost. They fumbled it freaking 4 times. All right, so as tradition, before we get out of here, this is a longer BearCave stream, so the whole VOD and highlights will be available later on the YouTube channel, but we always go through the following week games so you guys can see what's coming down the pipe next Wednesday. And week 4, East Carolina, Virginia Tech, Cal, Utah, State, Oklahoma, Buffalo, Vanderbilt. Great one here, especially if Georgia Tech wins. UNC, Georgia Tech, that would be a banger. App State, Cincinnati is going to be a good one. Tennessee, Florida will be a good one. Georgia, Alabama, always good. Some great games coming down the pipe, as week 4 is when you start to see a lot of conference games. So Ohio State, Texas, another crazy non-con game. TCU, Minnesota. Holy Toledo, some of these matchups are very, very good. Missouri, Illinois is a fun one. So going to be some great options for Watch Party, for BearCave, for Game Day. Cannot wait. See if there's any great ones down here. All right, so that is it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back shortly for Game Day, probably less than 5 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the SFA, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.